The story starts with a boy named Tsukasa walking down a street when steel beams suddenly fall toward him. However, a girl named Shuri deflects them with her sword. He is surprised by her outfit and wonders if she feels embarrassed. She asks if he is hurt, as he seems dazed, but he assures her he is fine and thanks her for saving him. She then reveals that the steel bars were actually demons, which confuses him. She explains that the reason he frequently encounters accidents is due to these demons. She tells him that demons target people like him, who have samurai blood, while ninjas exist to protect them. Noticing his doubtful expression, she tells him to look behind him, where he sees a demon disintegrate into dust. She explains that he started seeing demons because his samurai blood has awakened, making him a target. She offers to protect him, but states that she has a condition. Realizing he has no choice since he needs her help, he agrees to the deal. Suddenly, she starts questioning him about his home, making him curious about her personality. After arriving at his house, she changes clothes and asks him to support her while she fights for him. She is delighted when he agrees, then starts playing video games with his permission, introducing herself as both a ninja and a gaming enthusiast. A week passes, and she enjoys her dream life of eating, sleeping, and playing video games. However, she reassures him that she will do her best to fight any demons that attack him. She wonders if he is upset, but he tells her he is happy, as he has always been alone due to his poor social skills. He worries she might feel burdened by living with him, but she tells him he is the best person she has ever met. He expresses that he enjoys having her around, prompting her to ask if he prefers assertive women. He denies it, and she playfully says she was only joking. She thanks him for his hospitality, but as she goes to bathe, she panics, wondering if he noticed her blushing while talking to him. Later, she defeats a demon trying to attack Tsukasa, and he thanks her again. She insists that she is merely doing her job. She notices that he differs from her past masters, as he does not mind her spending all her time playing video games. However, after he told her he likes having her around, she finds herself unable to fully enjoy gaming. She contemplates helping around the house, but dismisses it as an uncharacteristic thought for a self-proclaimed weeb. Instead, she decides to discuss the matter with Tsukasa. When he comes home, she is surprised to see he bought her a shirt from a game she likes. He explains that it is his way of showing appreciation for her protection, but she insists that she should be the one thanking him for taking care of her. She goes to the bathroom, feeling embarrassed about her reaction, and decides to tell him that she wants to continue living as a carefree gamer. She challenges him to a match, confident that she will win, but he defeats her. Shocked, she asks if he has played before, and he reveals he once won a championship. Determined, she takes the match seriously, but she still cannot secure a single victory. He mentions that he enjoys spending time with her and wants to play again in the future, which makes her blush. Overwhelmed, she challenges him to another rematch, but he excuses himself, saying he needs to do laundry first. That night, Shisui senses a demon attacking Tsukasa and rushes to his aid. As the demon lunges at him, she blocks it with a shield and hands him a game, instructing him to complete a mission while she defeats the demon. Later, Tsukasa tells her he must go on a business trip. She gives him an amulet that will hide his samurai blood from demons for a week. She warns him not to consider breaking his contract with her, as crafting the amulet took great effort. He reassures her that he has no such thoughts. Although he is not worried about being alone, he doubts her ability to live independently. Before leaving, he gives her money to buy food. While browsing her phone, she comes across a rare collectible figure of a character she loves but hesitates to ask Tsukasa to buy it for her. Eventually, she spends the food money on it instead. Surviving on nothing but bean sprouts, she is relieved when he returns and begs him to cook for her. However, she is stunned to see he has bought her the same figure. The next morning, Shisui realizes Tsukasa has gone to work but forgot his lunch. She calls him and offers to bring it, but he questions whether it is safe for her to leave the house. When he asks for her location, she suddenly appears in front of him. She explains that she used a teleportation technique, but he worries about people seeing her. She reassures him that she made sure no one noticed, though he remains skeptical. Despite her teleportation technique, her outfit still makes her stand out. He thanks her for bringing his lunchbox, and she asks for a favor, mentioning that a video game she likes has just been released. He tells her to buy it, making her happy. Meanwhile, another ninja named A sees a tweet about Shisui and loses her mind, as she has been searching for her for years. She considers Shisui one of the greatest geniuses in the ninja clan and wants to dedicate everything to her, believing she will be the clan's future leader. However, when A arrives at her home, she's shocked to find her playing video games. Tsukasa tells Shizuri to look outside, where she sees Ya crying, so she invites her in. Ya cannot believe what Shisui has become and begins insulting her appearance, suspecting Tsukasa is responsible for her current state. She claims she will take care of him, so Shizuri tries to intimidate her with her aura. Instead of being scared, Ya gets excited, prompting Shisui to send her flying. She tells Tsukasa that everyone she knows is strange. While Tsukasa makes tea for Shizuri, she remains focused on her game, and he suggests she get some rest. As she keeps playing, someone persistently knocks at the window. She checks and is stunned to see a ninja named Hina crying on their balcony. Suddenly, a power outage occurs, causing Shizuri to lose her mind as she loses all her in-game progress. Meanwhile, Hina suffers due to the storm and begs them to let her in, so they do. Shizuri comments on her ongoing bad luck. When Tsukasa's phone suddenly breaks, Shizuri realizes that Hina's misfortune spreads to others, making her a natural enemy to gamers. Hina reveals that she has broken a taboo in the ninja village by falling in love with her master. She cries, saying she tried to suppress her emotions, believing she is unworthy of being with her master. However, Shisui reassures her that it is not true. Hina then asks to become her disciple. Later, Hina launches a fireball at a demon, but it is easily deflected. Shisui warns her to fight seriously, as beginner ninjutsu will not work. As Shisui handles smaller demons, she believes Hina will be fine if she uses intermediate-level techniques. However, when Hina attempts an attack, she accidentally targets Shisui instead. This makes Shisui realize that Hina can only use beginner-level ninjutsu due to her misfortune. The demon charges at them, so Shisui swiftly defeats it with her sword. She tells Hina she has potential and encourages her to have confidence in her abilities. Tsukasa arrives and urges Shisui to rest, as she has not slept in a while. However, she insists that even though she tries to slack off, she must prove her skills since Hina is relying on her. Tsukasa notes that she never slacks off when protecting him, causing her face to turn red. Hina apologizes and says she will no longer trouble Shisui since she got injured because of her. However, Shisui clarifies that it is not Hina's fault. Just then, Hina is shocked to see her master, Toru, who explains that he was worried and came to check on her. He reassures her that she does not need to push herself too hard, as he is already proud of her dedication. Tsukasa observes their bond and thinks he and Shisui are similar. Suddenly, another demon appears and targets Toru. Hina steps in front of him, declaring she will protect him. As she prepares to attack, she reflects on how she has always feared using her full power due to her bad luck. However, even when she held back, Shisui still got injured. Determined, she attacks with beginner-level ninjutsu. Shisui doubts its effectiveness and prepares to intervene. However, when Hina throws a fireball, Shizuri is astonished by her power as the demon explodes. Hina is shocked that she defeated a mid-level demon on her own, but soon realizes that Shizuri was also caught in the explosion. Afterward, Shisui and Tsukasa return home, and she nails the door shut to prevent any more disturbances. She resumes her game, and he reminds her that she needs sleep, but she insists on finishing the game first. Suddenly, Tsukasa receives an emergency call from his workplace and must leave. He tells her he is heading out, but she has already fallen asleep. As he steps outside, A suddenly threatens him with a knife, demanding he cancel the master-servant contract between him and Shisui. She is jealous that he gets to live with Shisui and warns that she will kill him if he does not comply. However, Tsukasa doubts she will go through with it, knowing that killing is forbidden for ninjas. She hesitates, and he suggests they discuss things calmly. However, she instead attacks him, stating she will release him only after cutting off his limbs. She promises to make him suffer, but a demon suddenly ambushes both of them. His phone is broken, leaving him unable to call Shizuri for help. As the demon prepares another attack, Ya strikes it with a fireball. He assumes she is seriously injured, but instead, she appears to be enjoying herself. She draws her sword, cloaks herself in flames, and swiftly slashes the demon, killing it instantly. She is satisfied with the technique she just used. She kills the demon but wishes it were still alive so she could fight it again. Another demon appears and starts punching her, but Tsukasa is shocked that she enjoys getting hit. As she nears her limit, she wonders why a high-level demon is targeting Tsukasa. Suddenly, a light bursts from her body, vaporizing the demon. When the dust settles, Tsukasa realizes that Ya is actually a man. Confused, he asks why he has been pretending to be a girl. Ya admits that he despises being a man. Although he knows he has no right to ask for favors, he begs Tsukasa never to reveal his secret to Shizuri. However, Shizuri suddenly appears behind him. Panicking, Ya lunges at Tsukasa to keep Shizuri from discovering the truth. She becomes furious, ordering him to remove his hands from Tsukasa, but he says he cannot move. She pulls out her knife, preparing to attack A. But instead of being scared, he gets excited. Tsukasa intervenes, explaining that A cannot move because he shielded him from a demon. Though Shizuri finds it hard to believe, spots two small objects on the floor, places them in his chest, and apologizes to Shisui for falling on Tsukasa, claiming he was dizzy. Afterward, Shisui tends to Tsukasa's wounds and apologizes for not being there to protect him. However, he insists it was his fault for going out recklessly. She states that her only duty is to protect him, and despite how well he takes care of her, she failed in her role. She tells him she will understand if he wants to replace her, but he reassures her that he feels comfortable having her around. This makes her blush, and she decides to keep living with him since she enjoys their arrangement. She invites him to play video games, but he suggests they rest since it is late. She reminds him that tomorrow is his day off. The next morning, as Tsukasa takes out the trash, he notices both of his neighbors are moving out. He then realizes that A is moving into their building. Meanwhile, Shizuri is stunned to see Hina now living in the apartment next to them. Hina reassures Shisui, stating that when she is with Toru, bad things rarely happen. She explains that her bad luck depends on her mental state, so Shisui tells Toru to keep her happy at all costs. Shizuri questions A about what he was doing with Tsukasa the previous night. He nervously explains that he accidentally ran into him, but he grows excited when he senses Shisui's bloodlust. She warns them not to interfere with her time with Tsukasa now that they are neighbors, but she becomes flustered upon realizing what she just said. Later, Tsukasa falls ill, and Shizuri asks if he needs anything. He requests rice porridge, and although he usually handles everything, she believes she can manage while he is sick. However, she has no idea how to cook it and ends up throwing in random ingredients, only to find that it tastes awful. She asks if he can just eat ice cream instead. Realizing she failed to make porridge, he tells her to take his wallet and buy food. As she rushes out, she encounters a demon and easily defeats it, but she loses his wallet in the process. Hina arrives with Toru and is surprised to see Shisui. Shisui explains that she needs help, so Hina cooks the porridge for her. Shisui apologizes for making her do extra work, but Hina happily says she does not mind. Shisui then thinks of Hina as an angel, believing she is nothing compared to her. Hina is shocked to see Shisui cooking for Tsukasa, embarrassing her. She quickly clarifies that she made the porridge for herself. When she gives it to him, he thanks her, causing her to blush. Flustered, she rushes out, saying she needs to take a bath. Tsukasa eats the porridge and finds it delicious. Meanwhile, Shisui tries playing a game to calm herself down, only to be horrified that a limited-time event has ended. Later, Tsukasa visits the grocery store where his neighbor Himari works as a cashier. She's surprised to see him shopping so early, and he explains that he tries to complete all his errands on his day off. She recalls how he once had lifeless eyes but has completely changed since Shizuri moved in. She assumes they are a couple but dismisses the thought, as her intuition does not sense romance between them. Secretly, she has been watching them and was thrilled when Shizuri moved in, but the excitement was short-lived. Shisui is a complete shut-in who dumps all household chores on Tsukasa while spending all her time playing video games. The only time she leaves the house is to buy bean sprouts. After spending her lunch money on game items, Shisui finally decides to go shopping with Tsukasa one day. However, she accidentally trips and falls on him. Himari, secretly watching, is amazed that Tsukasa does not seem to care despite being in such a fortunate situation with Shisui. As they shop together, she still cannot believe they are not in love. Himari also keeps an eye on Haina and Toru, thinking they seem like an actual couple. She gets excited watching them kiss, believing being affectionate is their main trait. However, she also notices that Hina causes random explosions from time to time. She assumes this must be the result of single people everywhere rooting against them. Tsukasa wonders why Shisui never removes her ninja suit, and she explains that it allows her to play games until the last possible moment. If a demon appears, she only needs to remove her tracksuit to be battle-ready. He asks if it ever gets dirty, but she reveals that it's a manifestation of a shinobi's will, so it stays clean. However, the same doesn't apply to her tracksuit, so he decides to wash it for her. While it dries, he gives her his hoodie to wear. Later, as Himari returns to her apartment, she witnesses A being attacked by Shizuri, who is furious at him. However, he begs her to keep threatening him, enjoying it, so she sends him flying. Himari rushes to her room, which is filled with romantic show posters, and is surprised to see Shizuri wearing Tsukasa's hoodie. She hadn't expected them to fall in love, realizing she miscalculated. Determined to learn from her mistake, she continues observing them. When Tsukasa returns her tracksuit after it dries, he realizes she isn't wearing her ninja suit. She explains that it's too hot. He tells her to wear the tracksuit, but she admits she likes his hoodie and wants to keep it on a little longer. Tsukasa's computer starts acting up, so he searches for a fix online but finds nothing useful. Meanwhile, Shisui challenges him to a rematch, boasting about her training. As they begin playing, she manages to defeat him. While preparing for another round, he mentions that it's time to buy a new computer. He considers getting a decent gaming PC so she can use it, but he isn't sure how to choose one. He invites her to go shopping with him, which excites her as she misinterprets it as a date. She takes a bath, wondering what to wear since her only outfit is her tracksuit. She contemplates buying new clothes but lacks the money, and all the stores are already closed. The next day, after Tsukasa leaves, Shisui tries seeking help from Hina, but A informs her that Hina is on a date with Toru. She tells A that she needs something to wear but avoids mentioning her date. He points out that she wouldn't fit into Hina's clothes due to her height, but offers her a dress in exchange for doing something he likes. Left with no choice, she accepts. As A helps her pick an outfit and apply makeup, he asks if her relationship with Tsukasa is more than just master and servant. Wanting to make him jealous, she claims that Tsukasa enjoys living with her. However, she's stunned when A says that Tsukasa views her more as a pet than a romantic partner. Believing this is his chance to steal her away, he presses further, but she threatens to end his life if he continues. This excites him, as he relishes feeling her bloodlust. While Tsukasa waits for Shisui, he is surprised that she is concerned about her appearance, realizing he doesn't fully understand her. When she arrives, she captures everyone's attention, and he is shocked by how adorable she looks. Shisui plans to make him confess his feelings but grows nervous since she isn't used to dressing up. She hopes he realizes she wants his attention, but when he drops his phone, she worries he dislikes her outfit. However, he suddenly tells her she looks fantastic. Overwhelmed with emotions, she blushes and rushes to the bathroom, where she cries tears of joy because he likes her appearance. After that, they head to Akihabara to buy a new computer. Shisui is stunned by posters of her favorite characters. Inside a store, she discovers a rare collectible and can't believe it actually exists. She continues finding things she loves and decides she must defeat all the demons quickly so she can enjoy life without interruptions. When she wonders what they should eat, she spots a kebab shop, but Tsukasa reminds her that their priority is getting a computer. However, seeing how excited she is, he lets her do whatever she wants. As they eat, Shisui reminds herself to act more like a lady since she put in so much effort dressing up. Her goal for the day was to make Tsukasa confess his feelings, but she became too absorbed in the fun and forgot. She tries recalling what he said when he saw her earlier, but struggles to remember the exact words. Calming herself, she finally recalls how he complimented her dress, causing her to blush. Noticing this, he asks if she's okay, and she quickly makes an excuse, saying it's warm. Tsukasa then runs into his old friend Masa, whose girlfriend tells him not to bother Tsukasa, but Masa insists it's fine since they were classmates. He asks about Shisui, finding her attractive, and wonders if she's Tsukasa's girlfriend. However, Tsukasa clarifies that they are just roommates. Masa, curious, presses him for details. Meanwhile, Shisui returns with ice cream for both of them and overhears their conversation. She listens as Masa tells Tsukasa that he seems to treat her like a pet. Remembering that A had said the same thing, she begins to wonder if that's truly how Tsukasa sees her. Since everyone assumes it's that way, he pushes Masa back, telling him he's wrong. He reveals that it was she who saved him, explaining how they spent all their time together. He mentions that before meeting her, he was nobody. But since she started living with him, he's finally able to spend his days with her instead of being alone. He asks Masa if he knows how significant that is, stressing that she is extremely important to him. Masa apologizes, acknowledging that it's wonderful they are happy together. Shisui tears up after hearing what he truly thinks of her. She comments that it's unfair he made her heart flutter again, though she can't understand her feelings. While her heart races, it feels warm and gentle, but she also feels cold, which surprises her. She then realizes it's just the ice cream. Kasa thanks her for helping him at the computer, but notices she's not paying attention. He wonders if something's wrong. She says she's fine, but she reflects on how she can't even look at his face after hearing his true feelings. She thinks she's the one not expressing her own feelings and grabs his hand to tell him everything, but suddenly a demon appears, which she angrily destroys. Trying to continue their talk, he asks if she's okay because she's covered in blood. He begins crying, worried she's in pain, but she's just sad she lost the perfect moment to confess her feelings. We see Himari waiting for Shisui and Kasa to return, eager to know if they are a real couple. When she sees them walking back to the apartment, she notices Shisui is covered in blood and wonders what happened. The next day, Himari talks to her friend Sumoi about Kasa's relationship with Shisui. She shares how she waited for hours to see how their date would end, but calls it the worst ending ever. Sumoi realizes Himari knows nothing about romance and becomes upset, admitting she has no experience. Later, Himari returns to her apartment, thinking Shisui could be Kasa's girlfriend because she wore his hoodie. Himari, in a good mood, thinks it's because she's in love. But Shisui reveals she's happy because her gaming PC has arrived. A approaches her, saying someone's been following them, but Himari dismisses it, thinking it's just an ordinary person. He then asks about the clothes she borrowed, and she explains they're dirty and needs washing before returning them. He tells her she doesn't have to wash them because he wants to smell her sweat when holding them, but she sends him flying. She's eager to set up her computer, but Himari notes there's no hope for her since she's just a loser. The next day, Himari sees Hina and Toru at the grocery store, and they mention wanting to be together. She thinks they're the perfect couple. Walking home, she sees Kasa and asks why he bought so much food. He explains he's preparing for tomorrow, as he promised Shisui he'd spend the entire day playing with her. Himari wonders if he's the one doing all the household chores, and he admits he handles most of them. She asks if he's okay with that since Shisui makes him do everything, but he clarifies she also helps with tasks only she can do. He adds that he's happy because she does. She always thanks him for doing the chores. They see Shisui at the apartment, and he shows her the food he bought. She notes it's enough to last them for 3 days and looks forward to spending time with him. She thanks him for taking care of her, and he thanks her for protecting him. Himari realizes they have a genuinely good relationship. Himari talks to Sumoi again and admits she doesn't like Shisui and Kasa's relationship, thinking their love isn't sincere. But Sumoi knows that deep down, Himari is actually okay with it. At the park, Hina and Toru are attacked by a demon. Hina uses her ninjutsu to blast it away. Suddenly, a ninja named Kana appears. Hina recognizes her as the leader of the shinobi village. Kana knows they've been spending time with Shisui and asks Hina where she can find her so she can defeat her. Hina takes Kana to her apartment, where Kana immediately challenges Shisui to a duel, hoping to prove she's better than her. Kana is Shisui's self-proclaimed rival, but Shisui doesn't seem bothered and continues playing her game. She reminds Kana that she always loses to her, which frustrates Kana. Hina tries to calm her down, but Kana scolds her for leaving the village without permission, calling her completely useless. Shisui becomes nervous, as Kana is ruining her mood and attempts to create a mirror barrier. However, her misfortune causes an explosion, destroying the apartment. Tsukasa wonders what happened, but everything suddenly returns to normal. They wonder who put up the barrier. A joins them and asks about the explosion. They think he was the one who created the barrier, but Shisui notes that it's impossible since he isn't smart enough. Tsukasa asks what a mirror barrier is, and Shisui explains it's a skill used when fighting demons. It surrounds the creator's area to protect the real world during battle, and once the barrier is lifted, everything returns to normal. Kana mocks Tsukasa for not knowing about the barrier, even though he's Shisui's master. He wonders if she's a lost child from the village, making her upset. Kana claims she's Shisui's rival, but Shisui doesn't care about her. Kana adds that the mirror barrier is advanced ninjutsu, and the person who created it must be immensely powerful since it covered the entire building. The doorbell rings, and they realize it's the landlady. Shisui recognizes her and wonders what she's doing there. She suddenly appears behind Shisui and reveals that Shisui has lost her touch. The landlady, Huki, used to be the leader of the shinobi village and taught Shisui how to fight. Kana wonders why she's there, and Huki reveals she's making money now. She became obsessed with investing after leaving the village, but also wants to gather the Ronin in her building. She explains that the founding warriors used a secret art to defeat demons, which was passed down to their descendants, known as Ronin. However, the Ronin don't know how to fight. Huki wants to gather them in her building to protect them, but she hates suffering losses and activates the mirror barrier again. She reveals it's been damaged and will cost a fortune to repair. She plans to make them pay for everything and takes them to the city. She says it will take 1 million yen to fix the barrier. She promises to write off the incident if they do a job for her. Kana assumes she'll send them on a dangerous mission, but instead, Huki takes them to a cafe where they see M serving customers with their love ninjutsu. Huki reveals that they are real ninjas who fled from their village, and she tells the girls they need to work there. They dress up as maids and greet the customers. Huki tells them to get to work, but they explain they don't know what to do. She tells them to just wing it, saying their personality matters the most. Shisui admits she's always been a bad teacher and that she only learned ninjutsu because of her talent. Hina serves a customer and hands him his order, but when she tries to use her ninjutsu, she almost burns him. She apologizes, but the customer is happy because he likes clumsy girls. Kana entertains another customer, but he refuses to take orders from her and tries to intimidate her. However, the customer seems to enjoy it. Kana listens to a customer who doesn't stop talking and notes that she has no idea what he's saying. He tells her she's the cutest maid in the cafe, and she's flattered, feeling like she looks better than Shisui. Shisui tries to do her job, admitting she's a total noob, but suddenly feels sick. She heads to the dressing room to rest until she recovers. Determined to finish her job and return to her usual routine, she greets the next customer, only to realize it's Tsukasa. She freaks out as Huki reveals she decided to call him since Shisui wasn't doing well. Huki warns her that if she causes a decline in sales, her performance goals will increase. Shisui tries to serve him with her love ninjutsu but struggles. Hina sees Toru and gets embarrassed, not wanting him to see her in the maid outfit. She drops the beer she's holding, but Shisui catches it and decides to drink it, thinking she can do her job if she's drunk. She immediately passes out. When she wakes up, she sees Tsukasa and tells him he's important to her, but she suddenly throws up. Afterward, Huki tells the girls they've met their goals within 3 days, so their debt has been paid. They're glad it's over, but Kana scolds Shisui because their goals were increased after she threw up. Kana points out that they should be thanking Shisui because they were able to meet their goals in 3 days, thanks to her excellent performance. Huki agrees and reveals that Kana's sales were doubled compared to Shisui's. She tells Shisui she has incredible talent. After they change out of their uniforms, Huki tells everyone they can take their outfits home. Shisui thinks about leaving hers behind, but Hina mentions that Tsukasa seems to like it, so Shisui decides to take it home. That evening, Tsukasa walks back home, thinking about Shisui. She told him to forget everything she said while she was drunk, but he wonders what she meant when she told him he's important to her. Meanwhile, Shisui waits for Tsukasa to return home and hears the doorbell. She opens the door, but it's A, who reveals they switched uniforms. He gets excited when he sees Shisui wearing his outfit, but she sends him flying. Realizing Tsukasa is in trouble, they find a demon attacking him. Tsukasa prepares to fight, but the demon suddenly grows in size. Shisui arrives just in time, angry and tells him to call her whenever he encounters demons because she wants to repay him by taking them out. They have dinner together, and Shisui comments that the food tastes delicious. Tsukasa notes that he needs to go shopping tomorrow, and she decides to go with him. She invites him to play with her afterward, but suddenly she senses danger, and the apartment explodes again. Tsukasa panics, but Hazuki reveals she already activated the mirror barrier, explaining she's been watching them. She tells Shisui to leave the apartment, stating it's not a place for someone like her, and asks when she'll stop ignoring Tsukasa's power. They start fighting with incredible speed as Hazuki explains that Tsukasa's powers will keep attracting high-level demons, and Shisui will eventually get into trouble. Hazuki suggests borrowing his power before a major threat appears. She sends Shisui crashing to the ground and asks her when she'll stop holding back. Shisui gets upset and rushes forward, but Hazuki easily defeats her, telling her she's reached her limit. Tsukasa suddenly protects her, and Hazuki threatens him with her magic, but he refuses to back down, saying he wants to continue living with Shisui. Hazuki decides to retreat for his sake but warns him to think it through, telling him she won't show mercy next time. The next day, Shisui tells Tsukasa she's decided to change her life and promises to do her best for him. She tries to find a job but keeps getting rejected, feeling useless and thinking fighting is the only thing she's good at. She recalls how Tsukasa saved her, so she's determined to help him. She returns to the M Cafe, where she sees Kana and asks her what she's doing there. Kana reveals her village needs mirror barrier talismans to fight demons, and only a ninja with high-level barrier technique can craft it. She believes Hazuki can do it, so she decided to work for her again in exchange for the talismans. Shisui talks to the store manager, who asks why they want to work as maids. Shisui lies, saying she enjoyed serving customers the last time she worked there, but Kana knows she's lying. Kana notes that Shisui is only good at fighting and can't find a regular job, but Shisui believes Kana is working there because she enjoys being a maid. Kana, however, considers backing out, explaining she just wants to help her village. The manager reveals Hazuki has already decided to hire both of them and is aware of Kana's situation. Kana welcomes the customers to the cafe, telling them she had no choice but to return, and they're glad she's now a regular employee. Tsukasa heads home and is surprised to see Shisui made dinner. He mentions that she looks stressed, and she claims she's fine, but he can tell she's struggling. He eats the food she prepared and thinks it's delicious. He suggests moving out of the apartment because he thinks Hazuki is bothering her. He tells her they can return to their old lives after they move out, but she explains that everything needs to change. She reveals she's been enjoying her life at home, helping others, stray samurai included, but notes that she only had to protect them for a month after the demons stopped bothering them. She tells him Shisui has been protecting Tsukasa for 6 months, but despite her efforts, the demons keep coming, growing stronger due to Tsukasa's unique bloodline. She worries that an incredibly powerful demon will eventually appear, and she won't be able to protect him anymore. She believes the only way to defeat it is to use the power of the Lord, which allows the user to control the Earth's power, strengthening the ninjas under their service. However, she reassures Tsukasa that she'll grow stronger to face the impending threat and promises to do everything for him. Before going to bed, Tsukasa reflects on what he can do to help Shisui. He acknowledges that he can't keep doubting himself as she needs his support and resolves to do his best for her. Meanwhile, Shisui is drawing, thinking about a game she used to enjoy called Puppy Girl. She tries to recreate a popular scene from it in her mind, but realizes that her break is over. Using a jutsu to suppress her personal desires, she quickly returns to work. 2 high-level demons, Kira and Krina, easily defeat a group of ninjas, impressing themselves with their power. Kira comments that the job was too easy, but Krina reminds her that they need to keep a low profile since they snuck out. Using a device called the AOE'd, Krina reads the memories of lower-level demons and discovers Tsukasa. The 2 demons decide to make him their next target. Shisui gives Hina a mirror barrier talisman, but Hina refuses to accept it, understanding how hard Shisui worked to earn it. She insists that Shisui take a break instead, but Shisui shows her a drawing she made. Hina breaks down in tears, realizing how much she's lost her way. Shisui tells her to stop crying because she's reached her limit and could die if her bad luck is triggered. Hina admits she's feeling depressed about missing a special event in her game where she could finally get the golden Shiba Inu she's always wanted. Although Hina urges Shisui to play the game, Shisui wants to stop being useless and is determined to do her best for Tsukasa. Just then, Toru informs Hina that he's obtained the golden Shiba Inu, making Shisui jealous, prompting her to run off. Meanwhile, Tsukasa prepares to face a demon, but as he's about to engage, he receives a message from Shisui. He quickly defeats the demon in an instant and realizes she wants him to visit her. Rushing to her apartment, he wonders if she plans to reward him or make him suffer. When he arrives, he finds that Shisui isn't acting like her usual self. She tells him she quit playing games because she didn't know how to spend her free time anymore. She asks him to dispose of her phone to keep her from being tempted to play games again. Tsukasa is puzzled at first, but realizes that she trusts him enough to ask him for help. She acknowledges his loyalty to her, even if he acts like a pervert, making him blush as he realizes she recognizes him in a way she hadn't before. As Tsukasa heads out for a jog, he receives another message from Shisui. He notices she's not home yet and decides to cook before she returns. However, he ends up falling asleep while waiting. The scene shifts back to Tsukasa as he jogs, unaware of the demons closing in. High-level demons are hunting him, and their next confrontation is imminent. Suddenly, 2 high-level demons, Kira and Krina, appear behind Tsukasa and threaten to kill him if he doesn't comply. Kira mocks Tsukasa, claiming that he stands no chance because he doesn't know how to use his powers. However, Shisui arrives just in time to save him. Krina recognizes Shisui as a candidate for the leader of her village, while Kira eagerly anticipates fighting her. Krina, using a device, shows a video uploaded by a low-level demon, revealing that Shisui is making Tsukasa do everything while she stays home. Kira feels sorry for Tsukasa and promises him a proper kidnapping. As Kira prepares to fight Shisui, Krina sets up a mirror barrier to prevent any interference. Shisui charges at Kira, but Kira counters effortlessly, overpowering her and claiming she won't lose to a runaway ninja. Meanwhile, Kana is working, receiving praise from her fellow mats, when Hazuki arrives looking distressed. Kana, concerned, asks her what happened. Hazuki assures her she's fine, but reveals she needs Kana's help. Back to the confrontation, Shisui is lying on the ground, and Tsukasa rushes to her side. Kira is ready to kill them, but Shisui manages to deflect her attack, vowing not to let her kill Tsukasa. She reveals her true feelings, admitting that she failed as a ninja for not helping him escape. Despite this, Kira continues to attack her, and Shisui uses her explosive talismans. Both get caught in the blast, and Tsukasa worries about her. Shisui tells him that she knew this might happen but did nothing because she wanted to stay with him, as he's the first person who accepted her. She says that she wants to protect him with her life. Kira is about to finish Shisui off when Tsukasa suddenly steps in to protect her, pushing Kira back. Kira is impressed that Tsukasa has awakened the power of the Lord, but she doesn't let up. Krena notes that Tsukasa doesn't stand a chance because the only thing he can do is block with his shield, which is about to break. Shisui steps in to protect him, but Kira readies her attack to kill them both. Just then, Kana arrives, telling Kira she's the leader of the shinobi village. Kira dismisses her, thinking she's too full of herself, but Kana tells her that she looks cute in her outfit. Kana orders Tsukasa to heal Shisui by putting his hand on her wound, and he's amazed to find that it works. Kana tells them she will buy time for their escape, but Shisui warns her she can't defeat Kira. However, Kana reveals she's not alone. Hina appears, determined to help Shisui since she's done so much for her. A joins the fray as well and hands Shisui her phone, having helped her collect gems in her game so she could pull the gacha until she's satisfied. Shisui is excited and thanks him for his help. Everyone prepares for battle as Kana tells Hina to cover her. Hina is only using beginner-level ninjutsu, but she manages to create a massive pillar of fire, impressing everyone. Kana is stunned by Hina's power but wonders if she overdid it. Hina admits she held back, but then follows A's command to hit him with her strongest attack while he lures one of the demons in. The girls worry that A might die, but he insists he's willing to risk his life for his master, which they respect. However, A reveals that he actually just wants to suffer and rushes forward, chasing after Krena. Kira realizes he's insane, but the chase continues. Krena is cornered, and A orders Hina to unleash her attack. She does so, and a massive explosion follows. Krena is left unarmed but survives, admitting that Hina's attack was impressive enough to force her to use her most powerful barrier. She now sees Hina as a significant threat and decides to kill her before she can use another technique. Just as she prepares to strike, A sends her flying, leaving Hina relieved that he's still alive, though she realizes he isn't acting like his usual self. The scene ends with this intense moment, leaving the story open for more battles and revelations. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.